Good way to put it.
Speaking of Junior, Cam Russell's the GM here for Halifax. You fought Cam Russell. Is there any story behind that?
Yeah. Well, there is actually a story to it. And in Montreal, you know what? I got to tell you the story. I got to go in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
If it's all right. Well, it's going to have to be all right.
You can't leave. We need you still.
Yeah, man. I was called up. That was my last shift in the NHL.
Was it?
It was.
Wow.
I could go way into the story and tell you the reason that I was pissed off. But no, let's just say, but you're called up. I didn't expect to play that game. So, and myself and Dave Morissette, and he was a tough guy. That was actually the game. You Google right after this interview, Google Dave Morissette, Bob Probert. He's the only guy I ever saw cut Probert, and he did it right in front of me. He did it right in front of me. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Probert, I thought was the toughest ever, still do. And some people like Ty Domi, man, gave him unbelievable runs. And you could argue at times, you could always make an argument of it. I just never saw anybody pop him and like stun him and cut him. But that was also the area that, Moose agreed or admitted to doing steroids. And, people were starting to go from big to gigantic to, are you kidding me? Right. So, but anyway, so I was sitting there. I didn't expect to get a shift, man. So it was like the fourth game in a row that either I didn't play or I put on my gear and didn't get one shift. And one of those games, it was like 5-1. So and you get really down because I always thought, like, I don't know, I probably got between 10 and 20 of those maybe. And I was like, why wouldn't you just put me on the ice? It's 5-1 with 30 seconds left. Like, if I don't go on the ice, I don't even get a game played. I don't know why. And I still look back. And Alan Vigneault was a nice guy. He really was. Maybe he didn't notice, and but in multiple times I just didn't get it. But whatever, I was getting a paycheck, and I was in the NHL. So, at this point, honestly, I'd turned the page. I was in Montreal, but I was hoping I would get traded, and that's another story. I'll have to get the book, or you'll have to have me on again to tell you that. But in this particular story, I was just kind of laid back. It's weird. It got to the point that I'd sit on the bed, like it was like front row seats. Like it was numbing.
Yeah.
To go from the point, like my first, even when I walked into the Forum was crazy. Now by the third year it was the Bell Center, but when, to go to the point that you're just sitting on the bench and it's kind of numbing and, you don't even notice anything. It's just a weird thing. It's not bad or good. It's just how the human psyche can work. So I was up with Moose and they were like, are you guys going to play? And I was honestly like, are they going to make me put on my gear? There's a chance I'll get out there. I'd always rather do that than not. But, there was something to the, not getting a shift. And I didn't think I would. And they might even have been honest. I can't remember. But I know that we were on a run of not getting on the ice. And so I'm out there, whatever. So me and Moose are looking at each other. Moose Morissette, Dave Morissette. So we're playing the clock game. So we're looking and basically we're betting $100 per spin. So wherever the clock ends, like if it's 14:57 and I bet 7, then I win the money. So me and Moose are, and vice versa. So we're just playing that because we're bored. And again, we haven't gotten a shift in weeks. So
In weeks.
So I was thinking, there's no way it's going to be the next shift. So yeah, I'm going, okay, so we're just playing the clock game, and the first period ends perfect. Now, when the first period ended, now I'm pretty sure, unless there's 8 suspensions or someone like 3 injuries, like the odds of me getting it, because no one's going to play you usually. After the first period, you might get one shift in the third period, but if you've gone an hour without moving your legs, you're likely not getting out there in the second. So anyway, the second period. So we're out there for the second, and I'm starving because again, I eat my pregame meal. A lot of hockey players like 12, 1 o'clock. So when you're, and I love playing like that on an empty stomach. And when you're going and it just goes away. It's like, ever have to really take a piss, but when you go out there on the ice, it goes away.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Hold it a second ago. And I'm like, yeah, it's just like, it's all mental. So anyway, I'm starving and I know I'm not getting out there. I'm fucking starving. So I look over at Brian. I can't remember his last name, but they call him Steamer. And I believe it was for the size of his wrench, but I believe it was Steamer. And so I look over at Steamer. I'm like, Steamer, he knew what I wanted. So I would somehow, and there was no glass behind you then, remember?
On the bench?
A couple of years before me was when Patrick Waugh, or before this, what I'm telling you. Remember Patrick Waugh went off the ice? But remember when he yelled at the owner? There was no glass there.
Oh, yeah.
So it was still in that kind of, it was still in that era.
Yeah.
So however it was, he used to get me hot dogs. So I snuck, now the game's on Hockey Night in Canada, but I knew how to sneak it, right? So I said, like, steamer. So he gives me the hot dog, right? Inside my glove. I'm looking up like this, right at the clock. I'm eating the hot dog. And everybody had a Gatorade bottle. In my bottle, before I came out, I got ice and Coca-Cola, well, Pepsi at the time. So Pepsi. And I'm having the hot dog and the Pepsi. I'm watching an NHL game. It's great.
It's what everyone dreams of.
And you're getting paid, too.
And I'm making like $4,500 that day. So Moose looked at me. And, you know, and we're shooting the shit. And Moose says, and as we are now, I ate the hot dog, and I'm like, fuck it, my eyes are starting to hurt. So I'm doing this one. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, Moose, did you fuck around? Like, did you do something? Like, what's going on? Like, why are my eyes so hot? I can barely open them. So he says, well, the boys, imagine this, another hot eye story. He's like, the boys in warm up put A535 in the top of your helmet. Didn't you notice it? I'm like, no. Like, my time to shine was warm up. I'm never going to, the only way I'm skating on the NHL ice is warm up. I don't have my helmet on. I'm like, I'm literally, I'm trying to, I don't want to say like wheel women, like sound like that, but I'm making myself available to fans, to women, like whatever, right? I got the flow going. Of course I didn't have my helmet on. I'm not going to get one shift in the NHL. The only time anybody's going to see me out there today is in this fucking warm up. That's it. So I went out there. I went hard, man. I was sniping top shelf. I was last. The only reason I wasn't the last one off is because Koivu and a couple more had that superstition. But I was the last to go off before one of the veterans had, like, you know, I'm at warm up here. I'm not getting out on the ice.
Fucking milking it.
I let it go. I never wore my fucking helmet in warm up.
You just snipe it on goalies in the warm up?
Yeah, when I'm playing senior hockey in a couple of years, I'm not going to be able to do this. People are like, why didn't you wear a helmet in warm up? There's 1,000 reasons. Because I could. Because I could wear no helmet in warm up. That's why. Because it was the NHL. 3-letter league starts with N. You don't have to wear your helmet in warm up. I'm going to fucking take that option. Thank you.
You didn't have your helmet on much when you played anyway, so.
Anyway. Yeah, true. Fucking Moose goes, so I'm going, no, I didn't know that. And so my fucking eyes are killing me. So anyway, I wipe them all off and everything, and now I'm not kidding you. I was having a bout with my feet. No, you're not going to, hockey players would. I was getting lace bite. Now, that gets worse when you don't play. So I knew it the game before. I started to have to wear these bunga pads thing. I still wear them. Zach O'Brien out there, shout out to Zach. He still gets me, wherever he plays pro, he gets me the bunga pads.
Zach,
I can't play now without him. All because of this 3 to 4 week span in Montreal in 98, 99. I still have to wear fucking bunga pads. So I was on the bench, and I'm like, Moose, oh my God. They're fucking killing me. I'm like, I can't even, like, it's like they were bruised. So he goes, undo your skates. It's the fucking end of the second period. Like, we're not getting out there now for sure.
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Don't say it.
So I undo my skates. And now the period ends. So I'm like, okay, I don't even do them back up. I go in the room, and I'm looking around like, there's no way we're getting on the ice. It's like, and it's like 2-1. So or 1-0 or some shit. So actually, you know what? I'll tell you exactly. Not that this is relevant to the story, but it was after. So this was coming up on the end of the second period. I want as much truth in there because it's easy to forget little details. I know it was because I remember which way we were facing. Yes. So anyway, I'm on the bench, and my feet are fucking killing me. So the reason I went in the room was to figure it out. I went in the room and I said, I got to put something on these. I got to put a pad down there or something. Again, I'm taking my time because I know I'm not going to get on the ice. So that was the answer. I went back out and I'm like, fuck it. And the trainer even knew I undid them. So I'm sitting there. That's how confident everybody, like no one even thought to alarm the coach. Like he's not getting out there anyway. He might as well have cement shoes on. It doesn't matter. So I was just sitting there, I was sitting back. So then Moose looks at me and goes, what do you want to be when you get older after all this? And I said, I don't know, a doctor or a lawyer or something. I really don't know. I mean, that's what I'd want to be. Like, you know, I'd like to see how smart I could be. You know, I'd go for some degree. So I go, what would you be? And he says, an elephant hunter. And I'm like, a fucking elephant hunter? Like, what do you mean? Like, why? And why are you distracting me in the middle of this fucking game? Tell me
This
this.
shit.
What it was, we were just getting these conversation. He goes, well, where are the elephants going to hide? And he starts laughing. I'm like, what? Yeah, so that was his justification. The elephants, would be really hard for an elephant to hide. So, if you were an elephant hunter. So I'm thinking, I'm sitting there going, what in the fuck are you talking about? And as I'm laughing at him, I get the tap. Ryan Poulin and McCleary. And I'm like, geez, he's inserting lines around because for most of the game, I believe Francois Groulot, who's a defenseman, is playing ahead of me and Moose up front. Like we were there's like a defenseman that's getting more time. So I'm thinking there's no way.
Wait, at this time, are your skates tied or are they untied at the time?
Untied. The top rung is untied. Top rung.
Just chilling.
So he says that, and I'm going, holy fuck! Like my eyes are itching out of my head. My skates are undone, and I'm thinking about fucking elephants. Like there's no, I don't like what the fuck is going on. So I'm like, oh my god, and it was like a TV timeout or something. So I did up only the top rung of my skates as fast as I could. Ideally, the face-off was in our zone, so ideally we just win this face-off and I get the fuck off the ice. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going on, and I remember going, at least it's a game played. If I can just make it to the bench, I just get a game played in the NHL game played. So that's all I was thinking. So I get out there, and there's a silence.
Everyone's like, who's that guy?
Now Moose had just chirped too. Moose had just chirped Probert. I forgot. He was chirping him from the bench, and Probert turned around and he told me, he said, my rum and coke gets more ice than you. And I'm sure it wasn't the first time he said that, but it made me. And I stood up on the bench. I should have said this earlier. It's been a while since I told the story, but anyway, so this has just happened after the elephants and all that, or before that. Yeah, this is fucking Probert's there, and he tells me that. And I stood up on the bench. I said, I didn't say that. Dave Morissette did. I swear to fuck. I said, I don't have a death wish. I looked at the guys on the bench. I'm like, you saw me fight Domi and everything. It's all good. I would, but I didn't say that, and I'm not crazy. So I just wanted to. So anyway, went out, and there was pure silence. Now we're on the ice, and I'm fucking just thinking, let's get the fuck off. And even in an NHL arena, it's funny, but there's this sense of there's a silence for like 3 or 4 seconds right before the puck is dropped. It's weird. No one says anything. It's almost instinctive. You can be there could be 50,000 people at the game, but everybody on the ice you can hear for that 1 second. And he looks over at me from across the fucking face-off circle, and he goes, Cam did. And he goes, hey, Ryan, does your coach know you're out here? And with that, I said, fuck this. And so I said, I'll do this anyway. And it was a quick way off the ice. And so a skirmish happened behind the net, and I saw Russell, so I went right after him. Now, Probert came in to get me. I'm glad that didn't happen. And when you look at the highlight, it's on YouTube. You can kind of see that I didn't realize how close I was till recently watching this highlight so much. Watching Probert, because he's like a predator. He's like a shark circling the waters, and he nearly grabs me. Wow, what a fucking shit kicking I would have taken there. But anyway, now Russell was a kid. It was Probert, Russell, and Mark Janssens. And Mark Janssens was also a killer. He didn't get talked about enough. No one wanted to fight him. That's all. Like, he didn't get a whole lot of penalty minutes because no one wanted to fight him. It was like the Darren Langdon at the end of his career. Like, you'd go, oh, Darren Langdon only had 80 penalty minutes. Yeah, because no one wanted to fuck around, man. There's been guys like that. So
that's crazy.
Anyway, we had a good fucking tilt, man. And we went over to the box, and Cam looked over and he said, good Maritimer, eh? I'm from Maritimes as well. And we had a good chat. And then ended up being my last shift. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be, but on the way off, I was looking, and so next to the penalty box, there was always, I really don't, there was always good-looking girls that, honestly, I think they were strippers. I don't know if a lot of the guys went to the strippers. And Montreal's a place, like, if you're going to go to the strip club, I never was big into it because I'm like, why would I, even then, I was like, why would I spend money when I could just go into Thursdays and come out of there with somebody, spend money.
You ever go to Wild?
That was my thinking. I'm playing on the Montreal Canadiens. All I really got to do is walk down the street. No, not to be cocky, but 19, 20, 21, living in Montreal, it was a blast. I'm not knocking people. I'm just saying I didn't go to the strip club much when I didn't have to. But these girls were like clearly, some of them were strippers. So I think there were some of the boys giving them their tickets. Everybody got 2 tickets to a game. Yeah. But anyway, so I looked, and I was looking over, And I'm like, this is some NHL action I got. Like the last time was like the year before or something. And I asked the scorekeeper for a pen and paper, and I wrote my number down and tossed it right through the glass at one of the
that's
girls.
how you do it.
Her name was Heather. Yeah, her name was Heather, and I slipped it through. And to be honest with you, I went off. I jumped out of the penalty box and I nearly fell on my fucking face because my skates weren't tied up all the way like great yet. I was mesmerized. And I didn't get another shift or nothing, but I went off, and sure enough, Heather did give me a call and we had a good time.
That's awesome.
Good for her.
Technically, I guess I got in a fight and I scored on my last NHL game.
I didn't quite make the game sheet, but you did score.
You got it. Now with that, boys, I got to take off.
Terry,
Fucking
thank
right,
you
man.
very much, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, can't wait to
Yeah,
have
no
it back.
problem. We didn't even really get past my second year of
I
junior.
know. Look at all
And we
the
told one story that happened midway, but yeah.
There's like 2
I know.
from
Yeah, I know that's my fault, but I'll come back on. I got all kinds of time now. So
All right,
whenever-
when we come to Newfoundland, we'll give you a call. We need a pickup from the airport, so we'll give you a call.
Sounds good, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Terry, thanks again. All the best.
Take care, brother.
Cheers.